Hi guys, thanks for tuning in again. My name is Nick. Again, I'm an occupational therapy assistant student at Fox Valley Technical College. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in for our mindfulness series here. I hope some of these techniques are helping release some of your guys' stress. Today, we're going to be focusing on your handout that highlights the Jot-it-Down technique. Now, Jot-it-Down is something that I have been utilizing a lot in my daily life, especially as a student. And I think it's something that can really benefit you guys. So I'll run you through your handout there. The first step of the Jot-it-Down process is whenever you're starting to feel a rising level of stress or anxiety, being able to recognize that and being able to take a moment to pause and take a step back before that stress and anxiety reaches a level where we're feeling overwhelmed and we feel like we're drowning in stress. So that's kind of the first step is identifying those moments in our lives where we are feeling anxious, we are feeling stressed, and that might be at the end of the day, reflecting on your day. Then the next step is really tuning into ourselves and figuring out what is causing this stress in our lives. What specifically do we think is causing the stress and anxiety? And it might be a few things that are causing the stress and anxiety. But this is where your notebook and your pen come in handy, and this is where the Jot-it-Down name comes from. I am going to think about what is causing me stress and anxiety at the moment, and I encourage you to do the same. Let's just take a moment and write down one or two things that's causing us stress currently. If you can't think of anything at the moment, first of all, good on you for being stress-free, but you can think about things in the past that have caused you stress and write those down. Alrighty, so let's just take a moment to write down a few things that are causing us this stress and anxiety, okay? Okay, welcome back guys. I hope that was enough time for you guys to identify some things that are causing you stress or have caused you stress in the past. I want to run through with what I identified personally. I have an exam next week, and this is causing me a lot of stress as a student. Especially, with everything going on at the moment and the schools being closed and everything being changed to online. I really just want to pass my classes. So this exam coming up is kind of causing me a great deal of anxiety and stress. Then the next one I have, the next item on my list, is that I'm in a group project. And this group project is quite a big grade as well. So again, I'm stressed about my grades. So then that kind of transitions us into our third step on our handouts here. For our third step, we want to write down at least one step that we can take in kind of tackling this problem or tackling this issue that is causing us a great deal of stress. So I want you guys to write down at least one thing for each item of stress that you've identified. And you can talk with your loved one briefly and kind of come up with some strategies maybe. And I'll give you guys a moment. I'm going to write something down as well that I think can help with my stress levels in these two areas, and then we'll come back together. So I'll give you guys a minute here to do that, all right? And I'm going to write down mine as well. Alrighty guys, how did we go? Hopefully alright. I'm going to go through what I identified to help with these stressful items that I've got on my list. So for my exam, I said that I'm going to study each night for 1 hour at 7 p.m. Now personally, I like to be very specific with my strategies, because if I just said I want to study each day at some point, that's not enough structure for me. And that itself kind of produces some anxiety, kind of trying to figure out a time slot, and oh no, I've gone through the whole day and I still haven't studied. That can produce some anxiety. So for me, I really like to be specific with my strategies. And then for my group project, I have written down that I'm going to message my group once a day and just kind of do a check-in on how everybody's progressing with the project and how we're all feeling about it. And just having written these two things down, these two strategies, that already has dropped my stress levels quite a bit. And these big daunting things that were on my mind have been kind of broken down into smaller things that I now feel like I can tackle. So it's really, this Jot-it-Down technique is really one in which you can break down those big factors that are causing you stress in your daily life. And I know that we can have a million things at once going through our heads as well. And that's why it's so important to take a moment, grab your pen, grab a notebook, and just start listing all those things that are causing you stress. And then take it one by one and identify some strategies that you can take for each factor. I really like to get my loved ones involved in this process as well, because although you may not be able to identify a way to reduce stress in those areas, maybe your partner or maybe a family member can, and they can help you out. So I really encourage you to use your family members and your loved ones as tools to help you overcome your stress. But again, this might be something that you do in the moment where you feel that stress and anxiety building, or it might be something you do every night before bed. But I really encourage you to use the Jot-it-Down technique. Alrighty guys, thanks so much for joining in again.